to you. And even on the first night.
Can't believe we got a copyright strike for the Van Halen video. No audio, just the video playing in the background. That was,
really?
That was
And it
bonkers,
wasn't for the dude who, that you used in
No, that dude, there was a copyright notification. We couldn't monetize him.
Yeah.
But he was cool. I emailed him. He's a good guy.
Oh, good.
Good guy. Hello, everyone. We have 2 people from Periscope. We have 10 so far from Facebook.
Hey, Jude's first.
Oh,
Hello,
Jude's
my
been
love.
waiting.
How are you?
Jude's been waiting. You guys, it is the 245th birthday of the U.S. Navy, and we are going to talk a little bit about that. But we wanted to make sure, hello, Trevor. Hello, Nelson. Hello, Chris. Want to make sure that we got a little bit of fly that Navy flag out early, celebrate our armed forces and the lovely people in it. We have a couple of hardcore Navy people as hardcore Sigler junkies.
Yeah,
the least of which is not Scott Pond, who is
of course,
retired.
Robin Taylor is active sailor.
Very active. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Recently promoted active sailor because she's just that badass.
And
my brother was in the Navy as well.
And this is a little bit of a tip of the hat to all of you who are watching, who are here early or on time, whichever. Even we don't ever care if you're late. Never come into our room and apologize for being late. You do you.
How dare you?
But I want you to take a look at this ship, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to say too much because I'll piss my wife off.
Oh, no,
mightily
I know what you did.
if I was to say that this ship might be in a future book.
Mm-hmm.
But
that wouldn't bother me nearly as much as if you spent 3 hours making that GIF, which you probably also did.
I probably did. You ready to go say hi to the people? Show our shiny, happy faces?
Am.
3, 2, and hello, everyone.
Hey, Robin Taylor, happy birthday.
Happy
Navy birthday.
Navy birthday. Hello, everyone. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. We hope your Monday went with a relatively lack of Monday BS because now it's Tuesday. It's a day that starts with a T, and that means...
And we're having a great Tuesday.
What has 4 thumbs and is here to entertain you? These guys right here. I can't point.
Dude, I was about to ask if dogs have thumbs. Come on now. Come on now. They don't have thumbs.
Don Shipley was in Navy, junior ROTC in high school.
Counts?
Awesome.
That counts?
Rob asked how many times Scott has said semen already, and the answer was 0.
And now
it's 1.
it's not enough. Apparently, I'm guessing for him. It's probably enough for me.
Otto is quite familiar with my humor. Yes, Chris McWhite, that is a really big boat. Actually, it's kind of it's a bit on the smaller side, to tell you the truth.
It's not as girthy as it could be. There could be stadium seating.
It's hey, when you look at this boat, it's small. It's a great boat that might be small enough to fit in a lake, if you will. In a lake. That's all we're going to say about that.
I'm sure it isn't.
I am optimistic right now because
Hey, Ginia, how are you? Are you home yet?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Why you're optimistic?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Oh, good.
But we're going to get to that. Okay, so we've got quite a show for you guys today. Beautiful show. We're going to talk about our Sigler Tail. Then we got a great pup date. My dog looks so stoned. My dog looks so unbelievably stoned.
I hope I know what photo this is.
I think you do. We've got just one G-Smote match for you. A whole moat full of sports movies. Today's the Navy's 245th birthday, as we have said. We've got, oh my gosh, wait a minute, coming up this weekend, you guys. We hope you join us as 20th Century Fox and Story Smack and Empty Set Entertainment presents The French Connection. And I made this movie. We were very young. We were very young. We won 4 Academy Awards for this movie. It's quite impressive.
Well, yes.
Quite impressive.
Sean, it absolutely just depends on the size of the lake and the size of the ship as well.
One might say if it's a fantastic lake or an extremely large lake or a muy bien lake or, great words like that, it might fit.
A muy bien lake.
Muy bien.
Wouldn't that be like whatever the Spanish word for lake is, which I don't know? I wish I did.
I hope it's lake. Then I know.
So we have a lot to talk about. We should just scoot on into this week. I dropped it a little bit late last. Oh, did you want to say when it was?
We'll just finish this because we're
10:17?
flashing this. 10:17 this weekend is coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to be talking in detail about 4 Academy Award winning French Connection with great Gene Hackman. Very weird movie. We'll talk a lot about how we probably couldn't get this movie made as is if it was be able to be
Today?
made at all today, but we're going to talk
Yeah.
about all that stuff. So you guys watch the movie. It is on Amazon Prime, I think, and you can get it elsewhere. Give it a watch. It's a great flick. We're going to talk about it, hang out, have a great time on a Saturday.
Thank you, Rob Otto.
Let's get back to the
muy bueno. Did you say muy bueno?
I
That's
said
very good,
muy
right?
bien.
That's also very good.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Very good.
There's a lot of words for very good.
Muy bueno lago is apparently how you would say.
Oh, Rob knows
Yeah,
that?
of course. Well, Rob, yes, told me that anyway.
Rob taught me the only Spanish I ever need to know.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
It's a family show.
So, let me see if I remember this, Rob. See if I remember this. Lápiz, por favor. Which means, can I have a pencil?
Okay. Well. So
right.
this week we are drinking. I made a drink video yesterday. I chose to do it yesterday, which was a mistake. I should have done it on Sunday like I normally do. We are drinking Tequila Sunrises. They have this little, no, lift it up so they can see the bottom of your glass.
Oh.
They have this little lake of grenadine in the bottom. So
Would you say
if you made one, you should stir it. It is a muy bueno lago of pomegranate.
Would you say
syrup.
it's a great lake of grenadine in the
I
bottom?
think I just did in Spanish.
Oh.
Or I said very good lake in Spanish.
I don't know. I can't keep track. It's hard enough for me to manage one goddamn language because with grammar, AP style, Chicago style,
And author preference.
author preference, accepted stuff. I've just gotten done with the GFL 6 final copy edit. So it goes out to a pro copy editor, comes back to us, and I have to go through and approve all of those copy edits. Is this hyphenated? Is this not hyphenated? Is this common usage? Is this is a compound modifier, but it's common usage, so therefore there's no hyphen. It drives me batshit crazy. It's my least favorite part of the entire process.
And it's so crazy, you guys. I know a lot of you guys out there are writers, so you've seen this as well, but it's also crazy because, Scott has some preferences for how words look in dialogue. As opposed to in narration or prose.
Yeah.
And so then, say, for example, can I use the one that we talked about today?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Let it ride.
So, for example, in the GFL, if you haven't read it, there's an honorific called Shamakath, and Shamakath is like my lord, my leader, my saint, my person, my sentient, whatever. And when you are speaking to somebody, just like you would say to a doctor or a parent or a nun or something, you would say, doctor, whatever, and that would be capitalized. So when someone is talking in dialogue to Hokor, who's the Shamakath in this case, it's because they're speaking to their Shamakath, it's capitalized. Mm-hmm. If we are saying, go get your Shamakath, and it's in narration, it's not capitalized.
Not capitalized.
So even though the rules can be set like the way the author wants it, the way the author wants it depends on how the word is being used as well. It's a crazy thing.
It's crazy.
Every time you guys are pleased about the girthy books, keep in mind we got to keep track of all that the whole time. So I'm going to be gunning for shorter, less girthy books.
And there's bigger problems too. Like I really work very hard to make the dialogue in my books sounds like the way we talk, particularly in America, since I'm an American. So there's a lot of vernacular, a lot of slang. But I've had to go through the copy edit and remove when the copy editor inserted semicolons and colons into dialogue. Because in my head, once you see the quote symbols, anything in there that is not something you can easily pronounce or visualize, like a dash, which looks more natural to me, I take that out. Because you see a semicolon in dialogue and it looks weird. So I have all of these strange, hello Alan, I have all of these strange rules.
Ashley, I saw you in there before. I'm not sure what time it is in Australia, but it's so good to see your name.
Shannon pointed out, oh my God, Scary Haunted House,
Yeah,
door
we're
wrestling
talking
behind
about
you.
the Sigler That's
okay.
part of the Sigler.
Okay, great. We're going to get to that.
So do we want to do the pup dates first? Let's do the pup dates
Let's
first.
get to that pup date. You guys, if you've had a hard week, if you've been watching the news, things are nutty, things are crazy. We're going to go in order. It's time for a pup date. Number one, we have a straight up blet for you, which is rare.
Goodness
it's delightful.
gracious.
Number two, I've always said that my dog, Reese, the dog of doom, I've always said that she was switched at doggy birthday. And I got her super chill, super laid back, never a problem, just hanging out all the time. And then some stoner surfer dude got the world's most hyper dog that spins in circles all the time. And the dog does Jacob's ladder, and the dog's like, come on, let's go. And so my dog lived up to billing, and got this picture of my dog looking as high as a dog has ever looked.
I love this picture so much.
That's my high. Hey, man, did you ever really look at the clouds, man?
So my
They're
dear
so
friend
great,
Allison,
man.
who a lot of you have met, but not everybody. I ran a business with her before Empty Set, and she's the goddamn dog sitter's very best friend in the world, Allison. She's one of my very best friends in the world. She looked at that picture of Reese when I took it last summer and said, "Well, we know Reese's got jokes." And I also love that.
I'm trying to guess how many bong hits Reese took to make this picture, and I'm going to guess it's 13.
I
13
think she was
bong
high on
hits.
life. So we mentioned earlier in SIGLERinPLACE, last summer I had a terrible and wonderful road trip all at the same time where I ended up hitting an animal with my car and getting stuck in Texas, but not with my best friends for a couple of weeks. And then I came back to California, and Scott was a faculty at the Mendocino Coast Writers Conference. And so I just got to go take care of the dogs, drop Scott off at work every day, and recover from... It was a great trip when I got to hang out with my good friends, but it was also a really, really, really stressful trip when I didn't. So I just got to hang out. And so I think she might be enjoying the coastal hike that we took
there's
to
a
look
big
at the
cliff.
Pacific Ocean. But who knows? She's super stoned in that photo.
And Rob Otto points out that in that picture, Reese's saying, "Hey, man, what if CAT spelled dog?" Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Maria, who is also one of my very best friends in the world, is in the chat room right now. And she says... yes, if you ever meet Allison, if Allison and I are ever in the same room, I will introduce her to you 67,000 times. I believe that Maria and Allison have probably shared a hotel room more than once, like working, and I still introduce them every chance I get. For no good reason. So that was our pup date. We're going to talk a little bit later about this day in Siglerism. We got the G-Smote. So I think the next thing that we're going to do now is just let you guys know we're almost done with the Nocturnal Throwback.
Yeah.
So
what? Wait. Yep. Hold on here. Let's get back.
And there are folks who like to download them. And I will be honest with you, this is going to go away. So if you want that throwback episodes, if you want those, definitely take those down now while you can. Download them all from your whatever your podcatcher is, because we will take them down once this is done.
We get sneaky.
Hey, David Roman, nice to see you.
And don't forget, on Mondays, you've got A posting the Sig Locktail. Here's the recipe right here, and I'm not going to hit play because I didn't set the volume down, so it'll probably blast through.
Yeah, that's no problem. Also, this normally I take a picture of myself drinking the drink, but I don't. This is a little bit of a sweet drink for me, so I managed it, and I didn't want to do it, so I forgot to take that picture. So we'll do this.
What we were saying though with the Nocturnal Throwback, 40 episodes, and it's done. So, quick note on that. We're going to do a Q&A episode. Usually one of the most popular things we do, people who don't even listen to the book because they've already bought it, read it, etc., will come back for the Q&A, and that is going to be episode 41 of Nocturnal Throwback. And we want send your questions to
info@emptyset.com.
Send it to info@emptyset.com. You can send an MP3 of you asking a question. It's got to be 20 seconds or less. If you want to do video of you asking a question, do so with your phone in vertical. Use standard video for your phone.
Vertical?
Yeah, vertical, because then we can put them up.
We can put them up with us.
We'll be side by side.
Great. So that's different than we normally ask for. And I got to tell you guys, the best thing you can do is make it short and sweet and to the point.
20 seconds. Hey, Sandy, 20 seconds or less.
Sandy. And my mom is in the chat room, too. So sorry to interrupt you. I'm so excited.
Oh, what's up, Zip?
Marianne is my mom and Jude's mom and is in the chat room tonight. And it's so good to see you, Mama. Thank you so much for my special surprise today. She dropped off a lovely gift for me today.
Sandy is my other mother, so my mother's in the chat room tonight, too. Back to the video. You can send in a video question. Don't be a creative video director. Just shoot a 20-second or less question on your phone vertically. Send that video to info@emptyset.com. 20 seconds of video should be small enough that you can send it without having to do any shenanigans, any bullpucky, or any moleworky. Any of those things. You don't have to do any of those things. Moleworky. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a Sheboygan thing.
So we're going to do Siglebrations. Larry Kinney, our good friend who comes to Sigler Fest all the time, and his wife, they have a timeshare in Vegas. I'm extrapolating from the email, so you guys can't see this, of course. And they go every year. They went this year, and while they were there, they ran a 12K virtual race, and the 12K virtual race is the first time that they did it together, and so that's a Siglerbration. He got his T-shirts in the mail this week, and he remembered that he did it last month, and he wanted to celebrate, so I'm totally down for that.
That's like a lot of miles. I just ran 6.25 miles on Saturday,
Well, those
And,
were kilometers.
Yeah, they're
It's still
20 miles.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But
Yes.
I'm just making sure I said the right thing.
I don't know how many friggin' kilometers I ran. It was 6.25 miles. I was out of commission for 2 days. That's only half the distance I have to go because my smart-ass nephews have challenged their uncle to a half marathon.
And their papa, right?
What's that?
And their pops.
And my brother, but I don't think my brother will get to. He's very busy with football.
Oh, fair.
So I will be running a half marathon before the end of the year. If anybody wants to jump in on that challenge, feel free. It's just honor system, doing your own thing. And man, I just ran in from Topeka. Man, are my dogs tired. That's all I got to say.
I got 2 more SIGLErations that are
I got one to throw in.
Okay, let me say this, then give at least my 2, and then if there's one more, you can do that.
Shoot.
But I will say, Rob Otto, you know I love you. Why you got to tell me live on camera about Le'Veon Bell? Come on.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear about that, baby?
I hadn't. I've been busy today doing the other SIGLErations. Jesus.
Shoot. The
so
Jets.
mad.
JETS Jets.
Well, that's
Jets
going to be fine because we're doing so well this season.
are throwing in the TOWELL towel. That's what the Jets are doing.
So
What's
our
your other?
remaining 2 SIGLErations are very Sigler-centric, and they are, 1, we started audio book recording today
JFreak7594. We're answering your question right now. I'm glad you could tune in.
on, we did audiobook narration today. We have the whole first chapter done. The iceberg has blessed it and said we can continue. We're recording
So we are-
audiobook.
We're recording audiobook, and he has more information on GFL 6 in a minute. We would like to point out that this is Macy's 6th Gotcha Day for Tim and Nicole.
Oh, it is!
Yes,
Yay!
yes,
Oh,
it's
she's
Gotcha
the
Day.
best dog.
It might be Tim's birthday too, but who gives a crap? It's Macy's 6th Gotcha Day. So there you
And
go.
that's important. And then the other thing, in case you guys, I know Shannon, I saw you talk about it at least twice so far in this chat. I believe Scott has mostly finished his office remodel.
Yes, I have.
This
As
is
you can
Scott's
see,
office. He spends a good. I'm going to let him talk all about it. But he spends, I will tell you guys, as much as you sass him for like doing another thing other than writing or recording, he spends, oh my God, most of his time in this room.
A lot of time.
And this room, what was it? Like maybe 12 by 12 or something.
It's very small. It's very
but
tiny.
It's rocking today. So yes, Shannon, we finished this wall. We added, there's no ghosts. There's a pocket door right there. Can you do the other camera so they can see the wobbly curtain? This curtain that's moving behind Scott. That's there's a big pocket door. It's like 58 inches wide, and it goes into our bedroom, underground lair. And so it's the dogs are in there, so we have the fans on because it's 1 billion degrees. Also, we put. Can you go back to the? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
Oh
okay.
no, that's fine. Yeah, we put this one behind me up. That's a curtain as well, so we can get into it. And then I think you got to go back to the other one.
He's like,
And then-
talk all about your office after I'm done talking all about your office.
Okay, you talk about all. I'm just so excited because he always pushes aside something that will make him like comfortable and happy to do work. So I'm proud that he took the weekend and
I
kind
don't
of
mind
flushed it
giving
out.
up my own free time as long as you people are
I mean,
happy
but-
with the books. I don't mind, Dala. It's fine. I don't mind.
But in a little aside, today is literally the 7th month anniversary of our lockdown. This is the day we came here, and he put those up yesterday.
All right.
So I'm just saying, I'm very happy for you. I think it's great.
It's great. WTF Rowan, welcome. We missed you seeing you in Vegas too. Lots of good stuff going on. So real quick, give you a quick rundown of the office. I'll do more later, but we're gonna risk lifting the camera. Here we go. As you can see, we've got the orange and black Kraken's foam, and then see how far this goes. I put up some shelves. So I've got my Funko Pops. I got 2 guitars hung. We've got sound blankets up to take
And there's
away the
one
extra
more
sound.
shelf way at the top. Maybe Scott will take some pictures over the winter or whatever.
Yeah, there's one more. There.
But
That's
it's
it.
really nice. It's way better sound wise in here. I'm not sure how much you guys hear that, but we hear it a lot.
I hear it.
And he's
Oh,
doing
I
all the
hear it.
podcast recording and stuff. So this is lovely, and hopefully it'll cool down in Southern California.
Hopefully.
It won't be quite so hot because we've insulated it so much in here.
So that is GFL 6, the Gangster audiobook has begun. The Stone Wolves is in copy edits, continuity edits with Big John Viscara. That Stone Wolves was, what wound up being 160,000 words, babe?
Yeah.
So GFL 6, 166,000 words. Stone Wolves, 160,000 words. That's 1 million words coming for you by the end of the year. And there's another book. I can't remember. Things are just freaking bonkers going on right now. And also
We did the update.
we have information on GFL 6, the print edition. Hey, hit it.
You guys. Oh my gosh, you guys. I signed a contract today for GFL 6.
For the print version.
Yes, just for the print version. I'm really excited. As you guys know, if you've been paying attention or watching SIGLERinPLACE or whatever, or I think we might have mentioned this in a newsletter, the print house that we were working with failed to survive the lockdown. They were one of the two. They were either one or number two. I'm not quite sure, of the biggest printers in the United States. So that they failed was really unexpected and sort of devastating. We were in the pre-production for the GANGSTER, and it was rough. So I've signed a contract with a new printer for the GANGSTER. I know several things. One, I signed a contract, and this book will definitely get printed sometime in the next 12 months. Number two, I have to make sure I can clearly get all my rights and everything out of the former printer. That should only take a little bit of paperwork. It'll just be a little bit of time because I had started a contract with them. Three, and this is the hard one, but it's still good, I won't get on the printers. I won't actually get on the rolls that do the printing in 2020. The printer that we were working with, that we printed every GFL hardcover with, they were either the number one or the number two biggest printer in the United States. So when they went out of business, lots of people lost their ability to print.
There was a seismic shift of books moving.
And we're sort of small potatoes in the big scheme of things. If I were a print company and I could take a 75,000 book run or a 2,000 book run, I get what I would do if I was a printer. I'm not a printer, I'm a publisher. So for me, I know I won't get it printed in 2020. I do think it's very likely I'll come back to you on Thursday or Tuesday, like literally this Thursday or the next Tuesday, and tell you that I'm going to get it printed in January. That's what I think, but I'm not 100% sure, but we're so close. And so I'm really excited. We have a new printer, a new contact. They're wonderful people. They've been very, very accommodating. They understand what a wreck this was for our other printer to go out of business. And they're really lovely people. They're really excited to work with us. We're going to get this book printed in 2021 as soon as we can. Also, we're already working on the audiobook and we're about to get started on the ebook. So you'll still be able to hear or read this digitally, I believe, in 2020. If you have already ordered the GANGSTER and you don't want to wait until 2021, you can email me. I will refund your money. You'll lose your place in the numbering, but you can order it when we actually have it. If you're happy to keep it, once we get the ebook done, which will be before 2020 is over, you'll automatically get that at the same email address that you bought the book with. So hang tight. We're doing the best we can.
Yep.
Goodness, I wish we could get this done sooner, but at least we're moving forward. I'm really excited.
You know, I lied. I said we'd have it done years ago. It wasn't done. It's been 5 years since book 5. But
and Alan, absolutely. January is maybe 11 years away.
It's a long ways away. But you guys, whatever you do, stay alive. And I will read something to you. I think that works pretty good. I think that works pretty good. All right. So that is the update. Oh, I forgot. Let's go to real quick. I don't even know what this is. Let's take a look at Site Plus Us. Let's stay in Siglerism. Let's just quickly see what it was. We were podcasting The Detective. We did Story Smack in 2017. We've been doing Story Smack for a while now, you guys. 2017, we were doing The Big Lebowski, recorded live at Siglerfest. We put out an episode that we had recorded live at Siglerfest. You can listen to that episode if you want. Just go to siglerpedia.scottsigler.com, scroll down to On This Day in Siglerism, October 13th. And in the regular feed, it looks like we're putting out a lot of stuff. We had, 2013, Bones Are Right, we were doing. 2009, Round 7 of Title Fight was released in the podcast field. And 2008, You Social Networking, part of the J.C. Hutchins 7 Son Obsidian, was released into the podcast feed.
And I will tell you guys, Scott and I met in, what year did Infect come out? 2007.
2007, yep.
So we met late, the very first time we met very, very briefly was in early 2008. And then again in late 2008. And then we started what was Dark Overlord, which became Empty Set in late 2008, early 2009. And so there was this little transition where we started talking about maybe working together. He was writing Title Fight with Matt Wallace. And I was listening to it all like,
What does that mean?
thinking I knew so much about what he should do in his podcast, because I've been listening to podcasts for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I just sent all these sort of verbose emails and whatever. And he was just like, dude, I'm just trying to get shit out there. Just give me a break. And now I know I need to apologize publicly to you. Like, wow, that was a lot more work than I thought it was.
There was a lot of hubris.
But I think we're getting a little bit better.
Getting much better. Getting much better. So that is This Day in Siglerism. Let's knock out our sponsor, in air quotes, and then we're going to move on to it's time for the Jizz Moat. It's coming up. It's coming up. But first, we're going to head over here, do a little bit of this clicky, and now we go here. Hey,
so
hit it.
I'm going to talk about this. This is the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund for the World Health Organization. But first, I'm going to say there are several of you who are in the chat room right now. Mario, you're one of them, who I have charities that we're going to talk about. I have a few questions. I'll email them in the next sometime this week so that we can sort them out. But because I have a whole bunch of charity recommendations that I needed a little bit of clarity on, I chose this one this week. This is an international response fund. The World Health Organization serves every country on the planet that asks, including the United States, if we ask, even whether or not we're part of the World Health Organization. So they are working specifically, they set up this Solidarity Fund to help countries, people, neighborhoods, towns, people who are having specific to COVID-related outbreaks and whatever. And I checked out this charity. Obviously, the World Health Organization is very well connected, but I did make sure that they are giving most of the money in this fund to actively help the current crisis, and they are. So this is international and it's global. This is going to be our charity this week. I feel really good about this because as a planet, we're starting to kind of turn the corner and take this whole cloth as a community. And hopefully maybe we'll get a little bit better. So if you can share this, that would be great.
Yep.
If you want to donate, that would be great. As you guys know, Empty Set always donates to every charity that we feature. And hopefully someday we will be talking about much more fun charities than saving the world.
Yeah, much more fun charities. And it looks like a real quick, I guess, a semi-political tip. Looks like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is involved in this. Ladies and gentlemen, not to judge and not to cast aspersions, because everybody gets hit by misinformation and buys it hook, line, or sinker. I'm betting everyone in the chat room right now,
Me for sure,
has at one point retweeted something and come back later and been like, oh, guess what? That was not accurate. It sounded logical, but it's not. If you think that Bill and Melinda Gates are involved in a conspiracy to microchip everyone in the world, you are being given some bad misinformation. You should take a moment to research that and think about the people you are communicating with who are telling you that that's a real thing, because that's not a real thing. And that's all we're going to say about that.
And Rob Otto, my luminous friend Rob Otto, who everybody sasses me to call luminous, but if you met him, you'd know. He mentioned charity clarity to ensure parity for posterity. Mm-hmm. So I will mention that this is a thing you can do. If you have a thing that you're very, very invested in, you can go to Charity Watch, Charity Navigator. There is a bunch of organizations that are bipartisan or nonpartisan, and they evaluate the charity. They tell you how much is admin, how much actually goes to the cause, how many actually goes to people who are not part of the organization, and they rate them. So if you're ever interested in donating to a charity because you have found a cause that is really important to you and you just want to make sure it's real, that's easy to do. And I encourage you, always do it. Always investigate. I do that every time I suggest somebody to you.
And Rob, I will counter that with Charitor Meteor for my posterior. So there you go. That's also well known. That's a Mississippi phrase. They've been saying that for a long time.
Never going to be one of our charities.
Mississippi,
sponsors.
My posterior. Give me money so my posterior stays wealthy. That's what it's all about. If you are, oops, hold on. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I send out texts for every show. Try to send a text for every podcast. We're trying to get better at it. If you want to get weekly or whenever text, just text this number. There's an automated response. You confirm you signed up for it, and you get text from the FTO. For example, we texted today to let people know they need to go vote on the Gizmote. And it is time. Speaking of the Gizmote, oh my goodness. Gizmote. Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to this. Here we are in the Gizmote the greatest sports movie of all time, the moat full of sports movies. You can see there are now so many sports movies that have fallen by the wayside, felled like corn stalks during the harvest. And He Who Walks Beneath a Rose has had enough. And now it's down to 4, and tonight we're going to settle it down to 3. The partial bracket's kind of hard to look at because we're trying to show the final 4. Design, not my strength. We're just going to go over what these movies went through to get to the finals. Field of Dreams, a number 2 seed, upset number 1 seed Hoosiers to move into the final 4 to face the ultimate favorite in this, Rocky, who already has the heavyweight belt, who beat Any Given Sunday to move into the final 4. Over in the bracket, what we're going to go over on Thursday will be a tough one. That's going to be Caddyshack, who defeated Happy Gilmore to become the golf representative of the final 4, is going to try to not get kicked in the nuts by a crane kick from the Karate Kid. Everyone's predicting Rocky versus the Karate Kid. Baby, what do you think's going to happen?
I don't know, but I will say everybody knows, we've talked about this. In the beginning, I was how do I say this? I was fussy. I was fussy about a bracket, and then I finally got it. And when I was fussy, Scott was super patient and super lovely, being like, no, but here's the fun. Like, other people vote, and then it changes the things you can vote on, and then it changes if I have to choose between these two and all that sort of stuff. That's what's happening right this second. And so I find it a lot more fun today, but I will also tell you, when he was trying to patiently explain it to me, he was like, but obviously everybody loves Rocky. Yeah. So I'm charmed that Rocky is still here.
Very good. Very, very
good. I
good.
have no idea who will win between the two. I really feel like it's Rocky, but I have to be honest, I might say that because you said that to me months ago.
All right. Let's take a look at the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Boop. What happened?
Oh, boop.
Something is amiss. Here we go. Leaders.
Oh,
hold on,
happened?
guys.
We're
Looks
working
like
on it.
Stream Deck took a crap. Hold on. We're going to get there. I don't know. All right, so we're going to do this the hard way. Bear with me, guys. We're going to do this the hard way. Let's see. Brackets. There we go. Mm-hmm. So we are now looking at, we have 3 matches left. What we have, here are our leaders. Game of Mao in number 1. Clear control in number 1. Still has a chance to finish with only missing 2 matches the entire tournament. Has Rocky picked to win it all? Yeah, baby?
I was just going to say, look at how everybody's shining up here.
Yeah.
The Dolphins coming back. Game of Mao is coming back.
Game of Mao is in first.
Legauer's back.
There
was a little bit of shifting there in the middle ground.
There was. Game of Mao dropped back. But Game of Mao predicted the entire Final 4 correctly. We Shall See predicted the entire... Nope, missed Caddyshack. So We Shall See's...
No, Caddyshack is in there for We Shall See.
No, it's not in the Final 4. Caddyshack's.
Oh,
yes, it
right.
is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I lied.
Right?
Okay, so did We Shall See got it all? Yeah, We Shall See got all of it right.
Danny got Hoosiers, which
Danny's
would have deserved
Danny's
to be
effed.
in there. Well,
Danny's got it in the posterior.
But he's lovely.
Yes. So Danny the Dolphin has a tough shot at it because Caddyshack Hoosiers out, Rocky Karate Kid. Bad News Bears was robbed as Field of Dreams, Caddyshack, Rocky Karate Kid. So Bad News Bears was robbed. If Field of Dreams wins it all, I think he can't win because We Shall See will take it all. But right now, Game of Mao in the center
I see
square.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
So, for people like me, I'm still sort of learning because I've not been so invested. So I just see what you just said. Okay. Like, even though they both will win this next round, how they voted before also matters.
It does. It matters. What we've got here is those are the only people who really have a shot at it. A and I are both way, way down on the list. We are now going to take a look at you guys. It is time.
Can we see where I am?
You're in last. You've been in last for the last 4 shows.
I was just checking.
You're not getting out of last. There's no way that's going to happen. No way that's going to happen. All right, going to the matchups. Here we go. Let's do our ad hoc improv ring walk up. Nelson, plug your ears because here we go.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Okay. In the right corner, standing in front of what might be a moon or might be a halo, because there are some heavenly aspirations to this movie, which brings back ghosts, which should be bad according to Christianity, but we're not entirely sure it's supernatural, paranormal, or evil, or holy at all. Standing in front of an entire row of Christmas trees, with his pegged faded jeans, which could not be more 80s if it was a Camaro rolling down Main Street, it is Kevin Costner and Field of Dreams. opponent. On the left side of the screen, wearing white and black and what looks like a Victorian dress for no particular reason at a title fight and is probably splattered with blood, with the airbrush shoulders making his wingspan look much wider than it is. The man who couldn't even be bothered to cut the tape off his hands before he held his wife's hands with his sweaty, stinky, blood-covered hands. Why is he wearing shorts? Why can't he go to the gym and shower off before he has to walk out of it? It is, oh my gosh, I'm having heart palpitations. It is, he stinks. It's Rocky. Okay, that was not a great.
Wait a minute.
That was not a great
right,
wing up.
but you said an really interesting thing. He fucking stinks.
He does. He says so.
Absolutely.
He says that in the quotes. He says that. That's a movie from what do you think my place stinks? My house. You come to my house and it stinks?
Well, no, but he's got a
physically
reek. He's got right a reek. Now in this scene has to reek.
And what's way worse, it's not just his own stink, right? He also has Apollo Creed stink on him too. So he's got like double.
Oh man, wait
double
a minute.
Stink.
Oh wait,
double
a minute.
Stink.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
We just watched the Adesanya fight.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Israel
telling me
Adesanya.
that they are stinking each other's stink?
Oh my God, yes. You get the other guy's sweat all upon you, the other fighter's sweat all upon you. And you were going to double stink.
Wow, you guys, I don't think I want to be a fighter.
Well, there's other reasons to not want to be a fighter, like getting punched in the mouth, which is never. It's not a lot of fun ever. It's never fun.
Oh, you're such a liar. You have told me more than one time you would do that.
Oh my God!
You would take the risk of getting punched in the mouth.
If MMA had been a thing a few years earlier, I would have absolutely tried to get into that because you get to fight people your own size. That's a big deal. Hey, we have you have details on these movies, do you not?
I do. So we have. Ooh, I did it again with this. We have to bring a plug up here. Sorry for the details because I'm about to run out of things. Yes, I do. So I love this. One thing we've not yet said is that the Rocky, the script, Sylvester Stallone wrote the Rocky script in 3.5 days. He had been working on it for a while, but he wrote it in 3.5 days because somebody was like, the script that got bought.
So he was working on it, like notes, outlines, things of that nature?
Well, yes. And to be fair, I honestly don't know this because it was the 70s and we weren't keeping track of things like that because there was no internet. But he mostly had been giving the script treatments, notes, thoughts, whatever. And then somebody was like, cool, I got to get this by Monday. He had 3.5 days and he went ahead and got that script done. And that's the script that got bought and greenlit. One of the things the studio wanted was James Caan to be Rocky. And Scott has already mentioned this. Sylvester Stallone was like, no, I appreciate he might be great. I'm not selling the script unless it's me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then he turned in a script that was powerful enough that the studio was like, okay, we'll let you try and be we'll let you be Rock. We'll do that. But if it doesn't sell, if it doesn't play, we're not doing that. And of course it played, and that's the movie that we saw. I love that fact the most because you had said that earlier too. He had adamantly thought sort of this is my one big shot.
Right.
And then he actually did it, which I love.
Okay. What else we got on Rocky? Any details on Rocky?
There's a couple. So Adrian, who was played by Talia Shire, who was unknown at the time, was initially, once it was sold, the studio thought that maybe Susan Sarandon should be Talia Shire. But the idea, because of course we just mentioned that Rocky would be played by Sylvester Stallone.
Sure.
It became weird because the movie's called Rocky, and Susan Sarandon at that time had already been too famous to be Rocky, to be less famous than Rocky.
Well, she'd been in Rocky Horror Picture Show too, right? So that's confusing.
Well,
which is
wasn't
weird.
that it was confusing? It was that she just had more street cred than Sylvester Stallone, so that you would see like, oh, there's a famous person in this movie, but it's not. Not Rocky.
She had done Rocky Horror. What else had she done at the time? Any other big ones?
I'm not sure if she'd done Rocky Horror. I think she did.
Oh well, do you have any idea what big movie she was in?
Let's see. It's right here. Stallone and the producers decided that she was too sexy. Cher. Oh, no, that doesn't talk about it. I think she had already. I'm not sure if it was out, is the thing. I know for sure she had recorded the Rocky Horror Picture Show. She had filmed it.
Okay.
So they were like, okay, cool. This is not the
she
role
was
for
just
her.
too hot for the film.
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
part.
Sort of too sexy, and they sort of knew it was coming. They also thought about Bette Midler. They also thought about. Oh, wait, there's. Cher, which I love. Could you imagine Cher?
Cher was great in Moonlighting. She could have pulled that off, I think, pretty good.
know,
but
but
she's
if you think-
she's such a huge star, like a giant star. At that
And
time.
this is the thing. In Moonlighting, Nicolas Cage is still a star.
Mm-hmm.
And Cher is still a star. So that makes sense in Moonlighting.
Yeah,
but
that does make more
this
sense.
movie, having a person who already has credits and is already more recognizable than the main character doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And Sylvester Stallone argues that too, which I kind of love because I'll be honest, I'm going to talk from a personal perspective. Sylvester Stallone has Bell's palsy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first saw him, I was like, why does he have marbles in his mouth? Which I'm ashamed of because he has a good reason to be speaking with a little bit of a drag.
Alan says Moonstruck, not Moonlighting. Moonlighting, totally different show. Totally different show. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Thank
you. But that makes sense. So I'm glad that it kind of worked out like it did. And I don't, Talia Shire didn't do a ton after this.
Oni Gumo points
so it
out
makes-
small part in the front page, and I believe with Lemon and Walter Matthau.
Oh, really?
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Cool,
Thank you very
cool,
much. Give me one more detail on Rocky, and then we'll move on to the Field of Dreams.
Do you want this one?
Sure.
Okay, because I have one other, but this one's
No,
great.
then give me the other one.
No, this one's here. I like this one. So the director shot the rehearsals for Carl Weathers and Stallone's big fights for 4 weeks in a row. So when they went to the mat fighting the thing for the screen, they shot their rehearsals on Super 8 in the beginning so that the actors could see what they were doing.
Oh, cool.
And then when it came time for the actual pretend Creed Balboa fight, the very first fight that they did at the Los Angeles Sports Arena, the producers advertised that anyone who showed up to play the audience would receive a free dinner of fried chicken, and it was completely packed.
That's
so
great.
the actors had been rehearsing that exact fight alone for a month,
And the
filming it every time, looking at dailies like football players do, just looking and looking and looking. And then they show up to an arena with a zillion people there who all were going to get a fried chicken dinner, and it was intimidating. And it totally worked. It amped up everything,
bet.
and it made them more competitive, and
great.
it made
That's great.
them off kilter
Also,
and everything else.
what had to be, to me, what the best part of that is Sylvester Stallone regularly goes through severe water loss before filming final scenes to get that cut. So I would bet in a whole stadium full of people mowing down on chicken dinner that Sylvester Stallone and Apollo Creed Carl Weathers, probably hadn't eaten in like 3 days.
I mean, is that a thing? Did you do that?
Oh God, yes. For wrestling, well, not to look buff, but I once we had a kid get hurt in college in wrestling. A kid got hurt a weight class below me, so I went 3 days without food and water. Worked out 3 times a day in the old-fashioned rubber suits, and when I was already at like 5% body fat or something like that, I cut 9 pounds in the 3 days and made weight.
So the person who was in the weight class above you,
below me got hurt.
below you,
Yeah,
got
and I
hurt
wasn't-
3 days before your match?
Correct. And then I was
Who
very.
are these administrators who would let a kid do that?
It's just. Yeah, the Warriors. Yeah, you know what it is, Rock. You gotta crap lightning and eat thunder. That's what you get. That's what it's all about. Right? All right, let's move on. You got another one? Give me one more, and then we'll
no,
keep
that
going.
was the one. Let's
that
just
was the
go
one.
on. Yeah.
Field of Dreams. Let's take a look at Field of Dreams, baby girl. What are some interesting points about Field of Dreams?
So, I didn't open it all the way back up. I had looked at several, so I got new ones. You already know, we confirmed. I did the. Sorry, you guys. I did not bring up because of the audiobook recording.
We will print the key points from now on, so because paper doesn't lose power. That's the way it goes. But
My
you remember what
computer
that
just
was,
lost
right?
power.
Remember what that was?
Yeah. So somebody mentioned in the last chat, so I did that work. Yeah, Kinsella was based on J.D. Salinger. They actually reached out to J.D. Salinger to sort of say, hey, we're literally talking about what you do every day. And he never replied. Like, never replied, which I kind of love.
Wait, he never replied about Field of Dreams?
He was very notoriously not about a public life.
All right.
So they were like, hey, we're kind of writing this storyline that sort of has to do with you and your notorious hermetism. And he just never replied, which is totally exactly what you would think. On brand for him.
Kind of on brand for that. All right. We don't have any other details on Field of Dreams.
Because I didn't plug in my
Because
computer.
A did not plug in her computer, but we're going to take care of that. We're going to take care of that for the next thing. But now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. We are now going to find out which one of these two films is going to fight or ball, if you will, for the championship of the Gizmo that you've all been here for so long. Here we go. The judges' results are in a knockout in the third round with a score of 40-15, pounding on the corn like he pounds on his meat in the meat locker warehouse. Yes, his home may stink, and he may be mad at Mick, who eats lightning and craps thunder. But moving on to the finals, it's Sylvester Stallone in Rocky by a score of 40-15. 40-15.
So I love this that just happened in the chat room. I know you were part of that conversation. Kim Hansen says, "Hey, doesn't that make you dehydrated?" And you were like, "Yes, yes, it does."
Going 3 days without food and water will make you dehydrated, Kim.
And a lot of other things. And then Daniel Baker says, "You don't eat for 3 days, you ain't crapping anything, let alone thunder." I love that.
Oh boy, we're having just technical difficulties. Gloria, guys, I'm trying to get back to. We want to see. We get this updated. There we go. Field of Dreams with a score of 15. An embarrassing finals moment. 40 for Rocky. Let's go ahead and submit the scores, and then we're going to take a look at the leaderboard. Let's go back to bracket, and now we get rid of this here. We do this one here. All right, here we go. We know Game of Mouse is probably going to be in first. We'll close this. Here we go, guys, and boom.
Oh.
There we go.
Yay!
And ooh, what the hell? Where did this guy come from? Out of nowhere. Game of Mao in number 1 with Drew's best guess. Drew came literally out of nowhere. Drew's best guess now is if Drew cannot win, but Drew can still win the $25 second place. Game of Mao seems like a lock right now. If Rocky wins, Game of Mao is going to win for sure.
What's so interesting?
And then the Gizmo, Legauer also has Rocky picked as the winner, and Dan from predicting Rocky for the win came out of nowhere. Can also get in there with Karate Kid, Field of Dreams, and Legauer's screwed because he's got Creed in the final 4, so he's done points wise. He's almost completely finished. COVID Jeff, and then Lacey Underall for the win. So it'll come down to Thursday, and then of course Tuesday we'll crown a champion. What were we going to say?
What's so interesting to me is every time I think I kind of get why this is weird and cool and fun, and I think I finally grokked it all, something like this happens where I'm like, wait a minute, there's somebody whose name is Dan's predicting Rocky for the win. And I get that I can name myself anything. But somehow I feel like if you're smart enough to know that Rocky will win in that entire big field, you are also smart enough to know more about what would do well, like Game of Mao did and Danny did and all that other stuff. And I now love I went on camera months ago and said, like, I'm not sure I love brackets. Yeah. And now I love brackets.
Yes, brackets are crazy. Brackets are super fun. They're crazy.
So fun.
I finished in probably around number 25, which is a little embarrassing because I was trying to predict what you guys would guess, and I could have sworn you were all going to predict that dodgeball.
But you know why you do that? 4. Because every time you ask them to vote on something that affects you, they fuck with you.
Yeah, they do.
That's why they did it.
I was trying to second guess them. And then AK's down at the very bottom. But baby will not finish last because we got 2 people who didn't finish their brackets.
I mean, but that still means I finished last.
No, it doesn't. No, it does not. You will finish third from last.
Listen, if I can't be first, I might as well be last.
Oh my God. I wish this person had won. This person named their team. You go into the box for 2 minutes, by yourself, and you feel shame, and then you get free. That's a deep slap shot.
I know all about brackets. I still don't understand them, but I'm still all about brackets.
Okay. All right. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, one quick note before we start to fade out this whole thing. Let us not forget we have an election coming up. And there is shenanigans already afoot in California, possible shenanigans in Georgia. There are shenanigans all about the joint. And you can go to vote.org and you can get all the information that you need. Check your registration, register to vote. Hopefully there's still same day because it's probably too late to register by mail. Not everywhere, but probably. And if you live in California like many of us do, make sure you go online and find official ballot drop-off locations. In Texas, they're limiting it to one drop-off spot per county, which can include up to 2 or 3 million people. In California, we have people putting out fake ballot boxes and refusing to take them down when the Secretary of State actually is coming in and saying, bro, take these down. These is illegal. So go to vote.org and you can check all your information. If you don't vote, don't complain. It's that simple. All right. Now let's go. We got some questions. Let's get some questions from the chat room, baby. What do you think?
I think so. I do have a couple of questions.
Shoot.
Somebody asked if I have two questions that I can remember because I thought they were relevant to tonight. I will say I cannot remember who asked them.
Oh, Dawn Shipley's. Well, it's too late now. Go ahead. She says today's the last day to register to vote in Oregon, but it's too late now.
It's too late, yeah. So I do know this one. Mario Spampanato, I never pronounce your last name right, who's in the chat room tonight. He asked, he's currently reading a lot of the science of some of the books that that's no problem. Mm-hmm. And he wondered if you ever were asked or you ever would be interested in narrating nonfiction or science-based books. And Mario, forgive me if I'm not quite getting that right because my computer died.
Probably not. I have so many story ideas in my head. I mean, just to finish the Siglerverse continuity is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's still 11 more novels. And that just to finish that without adding anything to it. That doesn't count Hunter Henderson and Sons. You know, that is GFL, Crypt, Descendant, if I ever get to that, more Nocturnal, etc. All the things that fit into the continuity. And then there's so many other things that I want to write too. And then there's many other things that A and I want to get into, TV, movies, graphic novels, etc. So it's really difficult to imagine narrating a book that's not mine right now. I mean, we're even outsourcing people to read my stuff because I just don't have time to read it all. If it was for, a great cause or something like that, and it wasn't too long of a novel, something charity related, or if I had a rock star science friend who was like, it'd be really great if you could narrate this book, I would definitely consider that. But it's not something I'm going to hang my shingle out and go try and do, because we are capitalists. This is a business. If I make my own intellectual property and put it out there, and I make some degree of money for that until the day we die and then beyond. If I do a work for hire, which is reading somebody else's book, odds are that's a flat fee. And while a flat fee for narration can be good up front, overall long term, it's not anywhere near as valuable as putting it on your own property. So I would do it as a labor of love. I would do it possibly to help out a friend who has a nonfiction book, but it's not something I would pursue on my own.
So also I will say that Scott has had a request to podcast or narrate an audiobook for science-minded pals, I'll say. But just like lots of you who are writers, the idea of getting somebody who is a good narrator to narrate your books and do that on spec is kind of hard. So it would have to be an outright hire for us because of the production schedule that we're in, and that hasn't happened. So what we're still going to do is every time somebody with a good anthology, good cause, all that stuff that sort of aligns with our morals and values and company targets and all that stuff, we're still going to try and help that. But it's very, 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 very unlikely that Scott will narrate a book that doesn't belong to him ever.
Very, very,
ever,
very.
ever again.
So we're in kind of a sweet spot. I'm an okay audiobook narrator, and I could probably get work doing that if I wanted to. But again, make less doing that than putting out our own stuff, and nowhere near the caliber of accomplished audiobook narrator or celebrity for somebody to come in and say, we'll pay you X amount per finished hour, where A and I would have to be like, we're doing that. So we're kind of in the middle ground of, don't get paid enough to do this without and put down my own stuff, and knowing that what I would get paid my own stuff is going to make us long. We're all about the long run. A and I, long tail is a cliche phrase, but we tend to think in terms of 10, 20, 30 years from now, instead of just 2 or 3 weeks.
And I love, fiscally speaking, I love the idea of a digital pension, not a long tail, but something I know I can count on. It could be big or little or whatever, but I own it. I manage it. I can take it down. I can put it up. I can do that. That's mine. I can control it. That I call a digital pension. And I don't think we'll ever do a work for hire for Scott again unless it's enormous and huge. And that would be a big publisher or something. Yeah. And we may do that again. That might happen, but it's very rare. And for me right now, I'm busy enough with our books that I'm not looking into that. But I could do that. I could go into the field of audiobook narrators and like ply my trade and hope for that because I have the time for that. But Scott, we would rather get his original ideas.
And I promised you guys a bunch of stuff. And it's taken us 5 years to get GFL 6 done. So not doing it. Onigamosen, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Hope so. Loves Ray Porter and the others, but there's something awesome about a narrator, an author reading their own books. That's why still love the original Infected pods. Yeah, and you're going to be delighted because we're recording GFL 6 right now. That's me. According to Stone Wolves, that's me. That's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of 50 to 60 hours of audio, and you'll get to hear me.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you, Ogunamasin, but I will say there are several narrators who understand how essential the character differentiation is in like a closed group military setting or something. Ray Porter is one. McLeod Andrews is one. Luke Daniels is one. So there, I think R.C. Bray is one. Is that who does Helldivers?
Yeah, Stephen Pacey.
Stephen Pacey does one.
God. Does the
so
Joe
there
Abercrombie
are people who
books?
do those, and those guys, and we know Ray well, and Ray reads.
Ray's the dog. He's
Ray,
the dog.
Ray reads books that he would read on his own if he is being asked to record them. He reads them before he records them, and Scott's is one.
Let's answer George real quick. George, the entire episode has been dedicated to Book 6 on the GFL, and now at this point we're not allowed to talk about it ever again, so I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. GFL 6A has signed a print contract. We're looking at possibly January of 2021 for the print to be out, but we don't know.
No. Oh. To get it printed.
To get it printed. And then I started recording the audiobook for GFL 6 today. This morning we started to record it, so we will not promise any release date. We will sell no wine until it's time, but it's going to be very, very soon. It is 6 weeks, and we got time for a couple more questions?
Well, yes, but I have a question for you guys. Is that okay?
Yeah, go.
It's October. I need to know in this orange and black studio if you guys expect us to dress up for Halloween on this cast. It's going to have to be things that are found in this house. But I need to understand what you guys are expecting for the holiday season.
Yeah.
So the next 2 minutes are all about things that you would like to see that are accomplishable if we never leave this house before the new year.
And J Freak 7594 wants to know if we've thought about releasing adult versions of the GFL series. Totally understands why we haven't. Just curious. Would have been fun, but we made a choice 10, 12, 13 years ago to do this as a YA series. Now to go back and rewrite these books because we have to go through almost all the dialogue, a lot of dialogue, and pretty much just John and Drew Tweedy, but that would be an enormous amount of work. We'd have to republish, we would have to re-record, re-ebook, and it's not going to happen.
And it's bigger than that, actually. That's not the official problem. The official problem is that if we do that, then in the marketplace, there are versions of this story that are not rated for school children to read. And we have paid a ton of time and money to have Lexile score these books so that school-aged children can choose them to read as their extra free book report. And we could lose that rating if we put out a different version. We'll never do that. I'm telling you right now, we will never do that.
It's possible if I ever get free time, we could write a GFL, not called the GFL, a completely different league, completely different setup. But those in the know would know that that short story was.
And Ruthie, thank you so much. Name. Yeah, we will do whatever we want, but we're also going to do whatever we can do to. Oh, you mean about Halloween? I appreciate it. I thought you were talking about the GFL. Yes, you guys who are all saying yes. I didn't ask if you wanted us to dress up for Halloween. Have you met me? I'm asking what you would like
What
to
we
see.
can do with things in the house.
And so there's been a couple of suggestions for us to dress up as each other, which we may try, but we did that
We'll see
we
about
did
that. I don't know
that
about
Big
that.
Lebowski at Sigler Fest, and it did not go well for me. I am not a dude.
Howard
And-
says could see
Oops, and he is not a girl.
That's I'm not shaving this down for Halloween, you guys. It's not going to happen.
What did Howard say?
Howard said we'd be good as Morticia and Gomez at the Adams, but trying to put that together, I would shave this down for a Gomez mustache. I would do that.
I mean,
I
I would probably put a temporary dye, so we'll have to think about it. But I guess what we're saying is, I think Halloween's on a Saturday, but we will. No, screw you, Jude.
Jude wants
Screw
A to
you,
shave
Jude.
her
Jude
head.
is my brother, for anybody who
Yes.
doesn't know. I know
Yes.
I say that all the time, but some people just joined.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7 o'clock. We are going to shut this show down. We're going to be back Thursday, October 15th. Actually, I may have stepped on the lines here because I was rushing for the time. Hey, close us out.
All right. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had a great day, and we hope you guys come back on Thursday. In the meantime, if you have anything that you think could help this cast continue, which we need help for, charity suggestions, questions, things we should talk about suggestions, things we should dress up as suggestions, email info@emptyset.com. Send us content ideas for SIGLERinPLACE, nonprofit sponsors, info@emptyset.
We will be back Thursday, October 15th, which is Global Hand Washing Day. So all of you who go to the bathroom tonight, start washing your hands. You're a bunch of filthy animals and you disgust me. And in the U.S., it is National Cheese Curd Day. We're going to have to try and get some cheese curds and eat them on the mic so they squeak. We'll see if that's possible. And it is my day. It is National Grouch Day.
Your day. Come on. So listen, you guys, you know the drill. Until then, please stay safe.
Stay smart.
Stay science.
And for the love of science, listen to people who actually study things their whole lives long. Don't retweet memes that you don't know what they mean. Don't do silly things like that. And don't believe that someone's trying to microchip your ass, as fine as your ass may be. I'm not saying people don't want to track that ass. They want to track that ass. That's fine. But
It's pretty fine.
Nobody's trying to put a microchip in that ass, you guys. Don't be silly.
We love you guys.
We love you. Hold on. Let's shut off the stream. I got papers blowing all over the place.
Everywhere you
I swear to God, I'm like a Colombian drug lord up in here. There's white flying everywhere.
Oh.
Ready, baby? All right, we'll see you.
I am now.
We'll see you guys on Thursday. Mwah.